Hello, welcome to Parenting Differently, where we leave behind the old way of parenting and allow the gifts of motherhood, of fatherhood, of parenting to raise us. Different to how we were raised, different to how society keeps telling us to raise our children, and maybe you're even parenting different than you expected. Just different. I'm your host, Anja Simmons. I'm an author, a yogi parenting coach, and a speaker. And I'm welcoming you to season 5, where we're discussing actual tips on how do we parent differently. And having you already here means to me that you're already on this journey. A lot of this information may be not brand new to you, right? It may be something that you've heard before and now it's a good reminder. It might be some different areas that you're like, I didn't think of that. It's all good. It's all for you to run through your filter, your heart, your head, and your intuition to see what would work within your family, what you're willing to try, what sort of you would like to learn more about. Okay? So here we are on tip 5. Actually just realized I said it in the title. So it's about expectations. Sit with that a minute. Expectations of you, expectations of them. Now I looked up the definition, just so we're super clear. Expectations is a strong belief that something will happen or someone will achieve. It's got about assumptions and our beliefs. I did a course recently. I wrote a course, I have a course, and expectations was a huge section that we had to sort of unravel and go through in terms of, let's think before we even had children. What expectations did you have of yourself as a mum, as a dad? What did you, before we've even met our little people, right? We all had these. What did you expect it would be like, to the reality of what it is like to be a parent, right? What expectations did you have before you met your child on what that child would be like? What things they would like? What, everybody in the family is the good old connotation. Everyone in the family is a doctor, and naturally our children will be. Or you support a certain football team, and you just know that that child is going to love football and support that team too. It's your expectations. It's a lot of unraveling. We won't have all the time to do it here, right? This is our tip 5, is notice your expectations, and then notice reality, and notice where how aligned are they, right? And then how realistic are they, and how I don't want to say damaging, but maybe it is damaging when you think of, for yourself, your own childhood, what expectations were of you, and whether they were something that was easily achieved, or whether it was so against your core of who you are that you felt you were spending your life living up to someone else's expectation. And the damage then, are we doing that to our children too? Are we not able to see them for who they are because we're so clouded in our thoughts and our decisions for them of what our expectation was, right? And I'm talking sort of deep, big things here. The expectation of making us look good as a parent, making me look as good as a mum. The expectation that they will always listen and be polite and be kind, that they'll work hard at school and they'll be very good very friendly with everybody. They will be high achievers. They will, where I'm going, right? And the reality of that person, of yourself. A great tip involved in all of this too is, if you're thinking, my gosh, why is everybody so unkind how they're speaking to each other? Or why is everybody so bossy or so pushy? Or how come nobody is really, striving for better? Take that mirror and look in it. Give yourself a wink. Look in it and see where are you not perhaps being kind? What's your languaging? Where are you maybe not being as caring about the environment or somebody else? Where are you staying in your comfort zone and not wanting to push yourself, right? Are you hanging out with people that, are not really the right people for you, that you just kind of stuck with them, and they're not bringing out the best in you? They make you eat more, drink more, whatever it be. Let's show by example. Sorry if you're listening to this because I'm doing a lot of hand movement which you can't see, so you might want to hop onto YouTube for this one. But yeah, like what expectations do we have of ourselves too? Starts there, always starts there. And then expectations of our children. And where can we notice whether it's a really good thing and not a good thing? And your heart, your gut, you're going to know that. If you're often in fights with your children, is it because of your expectations? Are they battling up against that? Think of the expectations that you're still perhaps carrying and trying to please a parent is such a huge guilt and shame for so many of us. That what can we do differently for this next generation? How can we change that? I'm not saying we don't have expectations. I have expectations that people are polite to each other. Starts with me. Am I polite? I have expectations that, we all take care of our own business. Your room, your schoolwork, your career choices, that is something that's got to come from them. So I have expectations for sure, but I have to embody them. And then I have to see, is that, like, if you've got a child who is super shy and you're expecting them to be really like going for it, to do speaking competitions and to show presentations, and you have these ideas and it's not matching, that's where we have to change. Not them, leave them alone. Where we have to change. So our tip this week for parenting differently is check in with your expectations, reality and expectations, and where can you soften up, where can you let go of, and where do you need to do the work? What does that stem from? Where is that coming from for you? That we all often, I myself, like you say, oh, I'll never do it like my parents did on this, and then you might notice that you actually do. You're bringing that same intention and energy and expectation, the same, just might look a little differently. We can pretty it up, but it might be very much the same if we don't do the work at looking within. Okay, so expectations. Can you check for this next week, next time till you listen to the next episode, on your expectations? You are doing a great job. I'm so happy you're here. Reach out if you want to work with me. I have a few spots open. Reach out if you need that sort of support. And comment below. What are your awarenesses that are coming up when you hear all this about expectations? What are you noticing? Right? You can find me over on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, on my website. All links will be below. Have a super day.